Good evening, welcome back to the Opinion Box. Levi Kones is my name. I'm here with AMUNGA. AKHANYALABANDU is a governance expert. We are talking about political happenings of the week. Before the break, we were talking about matters to do with schools. I don't know whether you took your child to Form 1 this week. If you did, like me, then maybe you underwent some of the things I underwent, because I took a child, AMUNGA, and yes, he took up at 3:30 and he karudi up at 1 a.m. It was a very long day.
Yes.
The school I went to was a little bit chaotic, but then I discovered, yes, I was on social media.
Yes.
It wasn't just our school.
It was all everywhere.
I'm so much two-story, and I'm just
what's
like...
actually happened in those schools, you know, there's been a transfer of principals. Many principals have been transferred to different schools. Mm-hmm. So there's a bit of change of guard in those schools.
Yeah.
There's also another policy called delocalization before the new government, whereby principals have been taken far. Now they're being returned, even teachers. So there was a lot of confusion. There's been a lot of confusion in schools these first 2 weeks, because, especially high schools, because the people are new. Some of the schools you may have gone to, you may discover, and our listeners may discover, that the teachers there are either new in the school or the principals are new. But a school's organization depends on the principal. Mm. I'm told, for example, in a school like Kenya High School here, all parents were cleared by 2. In fact, they were called for lunch.
Alliance as well.
Even Alliance boys. By 2,
Alliance,
and there was lunch for parents. You know, you clear everything. Mm. But you know what makes these things be very slow? Some of them are cartels. Some of them are cartels in those schools. Mm. Some schools have cartels, like uniform. This thing you hear about uniform. Yeah. There's a big cartel in schools. So you are told that you'll come and you'll source for uniform in your school, and then it will be labeled. That is another thing, that is another big cartel, because they'll get somebody from the market who will tell the principal that for me to label for all these parents, yangu itakuwa hii, na yako itakuwa hii. These things happen in this country. We cannot run away from them. So this person he becomes the sole labeler. He's the one punching the numbers on the shirt.
Causing a backlog. So
that tent where that man is labeling from, that man can keep parents there for a whole day. Because he's alone. The machines are overheating. The ink is finished. The power
you know me, I ended up actually going outside to label.
In fact, if you are a parent, once your child has been given the admission number, look for somebody else out there to label for you. Then the other thing that you tell is the staff rooms have different types of teachers. Everywhere you go, working people have their own ways of working. Some people want to work slow. Some want to work fast. But the culture should be taken by the parents. I urge parents. That's why we have got something called PTA. All parents who have gone to those schools, in a few days, you'll all be called back to those schools to elect a PTA in your school. Use that PTA to change your school. Be a change, a change agent in that school as a parent. If you saw something wrong, if you have seen something's wrong, don't keep quiet. Don't wait when they call a meeting.
You know, one of the fears parents have is, I'll
be victimized.
Yes.
Or my child will be victimized.
Yes.
Because what they do, those schools are very clever. They will tell you, before you say your name, I'm so and so. What's the name of your child? Form what? Somebody's writing. So, you can't talk before they take
the prep CV.
Yes. So it's like, that alone is a way to intimidate. And I tell parents, when you go to those schools, tell the principal, we want to talk as parents. We are here as parents. Don't ask me the name of my child here. Don't ask me the name of the classroom my child is. Can you allow me just talk as a parent who is paying fees? There is something called customer care, client care. That is something that lacks in all Kenyan schools, most Kenyan schools. To get a school that knows how to take care of the client is the parent. The client is that child who has come in that school. Most principals and most teachers normally take it that you are disturbing them by, bringing your child to the school. That is wrong. It's a wrong attitude. I was a teacher when I was at Kakamega High School. I was at Kipsigis Girls. I was at Chemil Academy. I was at Kisumu Boys. Every time there was a function that involved parents, I told my principal, I'm taking charge. I became the MC. I became the guard at the gate. I became the director, because I knew I want the same treatment when I go to visit my child in Sacho or in Kabarak. So I calculated in myself, and I want to tell teachers who are listening, you also have got your children elsewhere. Do unto others what you want to be done unto you. All teachers must all take that note. And that's what we told the teachers in who were captured in a clip the other day. I don't know if you watched
Yeah,
the
I
clip.
saw a very terrible clip.
Very terrible clip. And those teachers have been
I couldn't
taken to
believe
court.
they were teachers.
They were my colleagues. They were my colleagues. And as a member of the union, I was called upon to try and get a lawyer to help them out. But before we could get them a lawyer, we told them, colleagues, mmefanya makosa.
What madness is that?
Wakasema pana, we wanted to know what the children normally do out there in the bush. So because we wanted to know, we told them to replay.
To reenact.
To reenact what they were doing so that we can also see what they are doing. But one of us was careless. He took a clip and he put it on social media. So we teachers, we do a lot of things that are very bad. If you are a teacher and your child is in another school and another teacher does that to your child, how will you feel? And that's what I'm saying. As a teacher, first put yourself in the shoes of a parent. When the parents come to your school, Madam Headmistress, take it upon yourself to talk to that parent well. Because even you are also a parent somewhere. When you go there, you expect some good treatment. If you can't do anything for the parent, tell them, I can't do. Organized from one entrance, junior secondary entrance, so that it is seamless. And the way to do it, just have enough manpower.
Yeah.
Just have
It's true
many
because
people.
you know what we say, if your school is not the best school and you have taken your child there, you know it's not the best school, they know it's not the best school.
Yes.
There's no reason why it should stay that way
Yeah.
4 years later.
Yes.
I mean, all of us should be trying to make it a better process
Yes.
than we found it.
Yes.
That way, one day we can look back and we've, instead of a few good schools in Kenya,
Yeah.
we have got so many that we are not running to squeeze ourselves in the few that are so-called
That
good.
is the other thing I was going to tell
You know.
all of you parents again. Parents, I'm a teacher.
Kujificha kwa hivyo.
All of you know, Michael Joseph, the former Safaricom CEO, once said that we Kenyans have got peculiar habits. So if all of us decide that it is Alliance boys, or it is Kapropita girls, or it is Kipsigis girls, we all want to go and squeeze ourselves into Kipsigis girls. There are many more schools in this country. Some may not even be being heard on TV, but they have got very good buildings. Sorry. I have been a chairman of a board of a school here in Nairobi. The school is a small school, but the late Chris Kirubi came to that school, Mathare High School, and he built state-of-the-art. It was a donation from Chris Kirubi. He was visiting Mathare slums, and he saw the school there, the primary school, and he decided to build a school. It is good. My brother, that's a good school, the buildings. But you see, the name Mathare,
Already makes people think, oh,
so people
there's
will
no
rather
point.
go to State House Girls.
Yeah.
So when you hear the word State House Girls, everybody is taking their child to State House Girls. But State House Girls, when you go there, let me tell you the truth, girls are sleeping on triple deckers, up to and including into the...
Do you know, it's funny, I had to convince a parent, actually, his daughter was called to Metke.
Yes.
And then he said, what kind of a school is that? Then I don't know the name. I told him, do you know what kind of school that is? I wish I had that
chance.
nafasi yako hiyo.
Metke,
I would have
it's
gone there
well
running. Tell him, but look, he went and did some research. He came back and told me, well, it's a very good school.
Yes.
I said, it's because you are the assumption, maybe the name does not sound familiar. You know.
Parents, get out of that cocoon of just knowing only 5 schools in Kenya. Do some research. There are schools in this country, wonderful schools. Well done. President Moi built some very good schools inside the Rift Valley. And even in Western, where I come from, very good schools. There are schools like Arap Moi Girls High School, Shibuye. People don't even know where it is. It's a beautiful girls' school, but people will know Mukumu Girls. So everybody will want to take their child to Mukumu Girls. But next to Mukumu Girls, there is a school.
And also we've got the history of the yesteryears.
Yes. There is a school called Arap Moi Girls. And why I'm telling parents the same is this. This year you saw schools that were unknown take over the academic reins. And I was this studio to say that it's not about stealing. It's about also organization of those schools.
Yeah, you said something that went very far. People really...
Yes.
So it's a principle, it's a principle, it's a principle.
Yes, principals do also a lot of work. So I'm just telling parents, don't just imagine the alliance that can perform. Even Nyambaria boys can perform.
Do you think that, given the Ministry of Education and the tasks set out, you know, we've seen the minister say a couple of things about preps.
Yes.
You know, about learning, actually, let me say, learning times.
Yes,
I think he was targeting day schools.
Yes.
And of course, day schools are complaining that it means boarding guys will have the upper
enough
hand
time to read.
To read and do that and you know. Do you think that in as far as policies are coming from the Ministry of Education at the moment in time, what are the things you think they should be running to have a grasp on?
Actually, it's not about even things like preps. I wish, if I was seated in the Ministry of Education, the issue right now is content to be taught in those schools. You know, Levy, and parents will bear me witness, those who are taking their children to grade 7, which is called junior secondary school. We have been having 7 subjects in standard 7, seven subjects, which they sit in standard 8. Now, we have 14 subjects in standard 7. That junior secondary child is going to school to learn 14 subjects. Now, even at the university, personally, I started the university, I never had 14 units in any semester.
It's too much.
My units were around 9, 8, like that. 14 subjects simply means this child, first of all, the books alone that this child is going to have are going to cost, it's an extra cost to the parent and to the government.
True.
This government needed to have thought of making education cheaper in Kenya. That is what we voted for Kenya Kwanza for. Personally, and some of my friends at NAD, people like Sosion, we were trying to push that of cheaper education. You know, the way to make cheaper education, first of all, reduce the number of subjects. You can't teach children everything that you want to teach in this world: home science, woodwork, engineering, music. It's not possible.
Metal works.
We can't do all these things. Let me tell you, when the colonialists came to this country, they only taught 3 things, first of all: arithmetic,
reading
writing, and reading. 3 things. Those first things were very important. Do you know today we can reach the university? A child reaches the university, he can't do proper reading, he can't do proper arithmetic, he can't do proper writing, they can't even write their own CV to apply for a job.
True.
So it's because tumewabombard na vitu mingi. Mtoto anafundishwa Latin American history, European history, Black American civil rights. All this history, the legs of a grasshopper, the legs of a spider, the legs of a tortoise. Why should you be taught all these things? Why can't somebody at the Ministry of Education and at KICD just simplify our education to fit us, to put ugali on our table, get some jobs? Hii mambo ya kuhesabu spiders legs. What for?
I can't believe you said that. That is why. You know, I remember when I was in high school, we did the orange. Alafu unaandika dermis, epidermis, unaandika parts ya orange. That I've always wondered, how am I using that information? How has it been useful to me in the long run?
There are so many things we learn.
There are so many things we learn that are really.
Yes.
Really,
and all those books,
and I thought CBC had come to actually dissect some of those things.
Yes, to take us now to action.
Yeah.
Action-packed education.
Yeah.
But actually, you look at the children who are reported to junior secondary. Ni vitabu. Na hizo vitabu tu ni theory work. Most of it is theory. I want to
so there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Do you know, I have a grade 3 student.
Yes.
And even the books for grade 3 were changed overnight. Funny, I went to buy a book. This is my own personal story. I went to buy a book for this grade 3 student in December. Nikisema, I want to be an early prepared parent.
Yes, early bird catches the worm.
I bought this book. She got to school. She brought me the book and said, Daddy, this is not the book they want at school.
It's another edition.
I thought, no problem. I'll take the book back. And they give me the correct book. It's still a new book.
Yes.
I went there, they refused the book. They said this book has been phased out.
Now there's another one.
Now there's another one.
And those are the cartels.
Those are the cartels.
And they are the publishers.
You know,
let me tell you.
You know, I lost $1,000 bob just like that.
Book industry,
you know.
The book industry, the publishers, these are the biggest cartels in the education sector. And these people don't even know them. They are faceless, most of them. You may not hear of them. But the people who are moving billions of shillings in the education sector are publishers.
You tell me. I was in Mombasa. I know when the heads are going to Mombasa.
Yes, you normally see that.
And I see them.
Yes.
You know who else goes to Mombasa?
Of publishers.
Publishers.
All the publishers in this country. Not just going.
They chase them.
They sponsor that event. They put in money. Then they say, we are sponsoring and we are also displaying our books.
Yeah.
I want to tell parents, the day I have a feeling, in the next 2-3 years again, there'll be another education task force. This current one did not do a good job. It can be seen already. All these complaints you are seeing all over, these things you are reading, these headlines, it means the education task force that President William Ruto appointed has not done
so
their
work
well. Iko kazi. Wakenya expect another task force very soon.
Okay. Finally, before we go, Raila Odinga's lieutenants were at State House today.
Yeah.
and imeleta hue and cry.
It is not scary.
Is it betrayal? Is it tactic?
It is.
Is it
a strategy?
A strategy. What is it?
It is politics. The game of politics.
Yeah,
and I love it because, you know, one, this is Raila who said, I don't recognize this government. Then his foot soldiers. And I want to tell you, when you see people like Jalango.
And you know, Gahu
yes, like,
was with Raila at that moment, was actually with the CS Treasury today.
Yes, today.
Of the government. The
very government she was saying that we don't recognize. This is called politics. And you know, the problem is if you are naive, is when you can go with these games of politics. Even when you hear that hakuna handshake itawahi kuwa, let me tell you, my brother, sooner or later, you will see a handshake. I'm telling you, there are viewers in this country. Sooner or later, there'll be a handshake.
Are you guys happy as NC?
Yes, it's not very nice for our strategy because we were a minor partner in the Kenya Kwanza. So when we see people from this other coalition going to see the leader of our main coalition and taking photographs with him, we are looking like you remember the firstborn in the Bible? There's this prodigal son ule alienda
akakuja akarushiwa pati.
Sasa akafanywa pati kubwa hapo, anapigwa mapicha.
Jamaa akasema but I've been around.
Yes, and as we have been there and we are not being called to State House to take pictures, we have our MPs of ANC, we have our you know, so we that feeling of, you know, firstborn and secondborn in the prodigal son.
They say it was development.
The truth of the matter is this: the Western world, these trips you see William Ruto making to the Western world, then you saw also Honorable Raila Odinga taking to the Western world. The talk out there from those countries is we must be united. Actually, the push, which people may not understand, is a push that we have leader of opposition in parliament. And this thing is being worked on. These visits that you are seeing at State House from the members of the Azimio is all a way to galvanize parliament to install an office called the leader of opposition. And that office, Raila is going for it. And I don't want to tell you that he's against it. The politics out there may be, we don't recognize this government. But the truth of the matter is, things are happening behind the scenes. One day you'll wake up, just like the day we woke up one March, 2018, and there was a handshake.
We are approaching March.
We are approaching that March.
The month of handshakes.
The March of handshake is coming. So Kenyans don't get swayed. Ule mtu anaitwa Mandago, that was the greatest man of the century.
He's now a senator.
He's nowadays the senator. The former governor of Wasingishu. He said, siasa weka kwa lungs. Kikuja, pumua ndani. Ikitoka, pumua nje. Na wachana nayo. Don't let anybody call you, come and die on the streets because of somebody. Uende ukalishwa kwa jua huko because of you are doing maandamano. It won't help you.
Sisi wacha tupambane na vitabu na mambo ingine. Mambo ya kusettle wanafunzi. What's your parting shot tonight?
Parting shot again. Wake up, dress up, show up. Kenyans, don't sleep. When you have got the energy, wake up. Wake up. Usilale. Dress up. Tafuta nguo, va. Show up. Wako wapi leo? Where is the action today? Don't stay in your house because Kenya is on the move. President Moi used to say Kenya is on the run. If it was running those 20 years ago when Moi was in power, today we are not running, we are flying. If you sleep for any extra minute, utapata sisi tumefika Ukraine, tunapita Ukraine. Kenyans, wake up, dress up, show up.
All right. Umesema Ukraine, I thought ni Canaan tunaenda. Tuliwacha Canaan.
Canaan bado. Ukraine, Russia.
And then what happened to the safari to Canaan?
Walipata mamba. That journey was cut short.
That is so funny. Alikulwa na mamba.
Mamba ilikula wengine.
We're going to end it there. Always very interesting to have AMUNGA AKHANYALABANDU. We will be back next week. God willing, God bless you. Good night. Have a good week.